You'll find the videos and information you need to start saving money on your energy bills right now. My name's Corey Binford. Thanks for watching.